It's been 4 days since riots started in Kishtwar. The government says it was caused when Eid processions were on and some people from the other community caused disruptions. Do we have independent verification of that? What about where the authorities were at the time? Is it true that they were in a meeting? Unlike all other riot situations where reporters piece together events to arrive at the truth, in Kishtwar, we have to go by what the Jammu and Kashmir government is saying. The reason? The government's blocked us out. It's not a new situation in Kashmir. They get their internet and SMS services stopped all the time. And during Afzal hanging, they again blocked journalists from travelling to Sopore. The only thing is now, because of the BJP and PDP leaders not being allowed to go, it's become a major issue in Parliament as well. On agenda tonight, our audience as usual is divided. Most of them on this side feel that it's outrageous. Government is hiding something. Kashmir government is hiding something by not allowing the media to go. But on the other side, they're sitting on my right. They feel that the government, Jammu and Kashmir government, is doing all it can to calm things down. Now, guiding them are our pundits in the debate. And this is the position that they're taking. We have Captain Abhimanyu from the BJP. He's against the motion. And we have Mehboob Beg joining us from the National Conference. And we'll also have Shoma Chaudhary, who will give us the media perspective in this debate. Now, before we go to our pundits, a look at how media has been blacked out. Here's Nazir Masood's story.
Scenes from two riot-hit towns, Nawada in Bihar and Kishtwar in Jammu and Kashmir. While the media is able to beam live from Nawada, showing the manner in which the police are tackling the violence which led to 2 deaths, Kishtwar has been out of bounds ever since clashes that killed 3 on Eid.
This is the Lakshman Rekha for media here in Kishtwar. We are not being allowed to move beyond this point. Army has been deployed here to enforce a strict curfew.
A curfew unlike any other, where the media has had to rely on images and accounts obtained only from locals in Kishtwar, like these images of stone pelting which injured police and some locals. So the only account of what really happened on Eid, which led to 3 people dead in this town, where Hindus make up 40% of the population to a Muslim majority, is what the officials are saying.
We have again seen media gagging happening. This government has always been trying its hand on media and other political institutions and democratic institutions.
The last time this happened was when Parliament attacker Afzal Guru was hanged. Fearing a backlash, they had blocked all reportage from Sopore, Afzal's hometown. Snapping internet links is much more common.
The curbs on media in Jammu and Kashmir are not new, but we have seen it in 2008, 9 and 10 as well. But I think the only difference this time is that it has been raked up by the main opposition party in India. That's why the notice has been taken about the restrictions in Kishtwar.
The state administration has brushed aside such criticism.
It is not the policy of the state to gag the media. That having been said, local situations require local restrictions to be put into place. This is obviously a local decision of the district administration, keeping in mind the sensitivity of the situation.
Media blackout in Kishtwar has raised the larger issue of freedom of press in Jammu and Kashmir. Most of the times, administration sees media coverage as bigger problem than the problem on the ground, forgetting the vital point that media is reporting a situation, not creating it. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
So that brings us to our first talking point. Are there any circumstances ever which justify banning media? That I want to take to the National Conference. Mehboob Beg, you've obviously done it in 2010, again in Sopore during the whole Afzal hanging issue. Why does your government feel the need to keep blocking the media?
Look here, question is that you have to look at the situation you are into. And so far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, I am not justifying banning of media or banning political parties to go to a place where such a thing has happened. Should be done normally. There is no problem about that. And National Conference, my party, has been advocating that all along and all through. But having said this, we are handling and dealing with a very, very sensitive situation. I think even reporters, I don't say, we have very responsible reporters, there is no doubt about it, and in modern times media has a very important role. But question is, in such a volatile situation, and you know what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir and what has been happening in Jammu and Kashmir, it has internal conflict, it has externally aided conflicts added to it. So we are handling with a very extraordinary situations. I think even while reporting, even a mistake with punctuation can add fuel to the fire, just for that. And as soon as the peace is restored, because most important thing is to restore peace. Once the peace and tranquility is...
Sir, I just want to point out that at this moment, which is why our story started with that, we are also reporting from the ground and we are showing shots of the riots in Bihar as well, but obviously they don't feel that. Shoma, do you buy what they're saying?
Actually, I don't agree with this at all, you know, because this is a democratic country, and while I can understand the administration's desire to clamp down to a certain extent on movement and on free movement, to even calm passions by the sheer passage of time, I can understand that in terms of just curbing local movement of people there. But for the media, there has to be access, because right now we are operating in a vacuum of information. We are told that this communal clash was building up over 2 months. You know, a cop apparently said that there was a communal volcano building up, you know. But that's not something we were privy to.
How are you relying on it to get information? I know that we are relying on some stringers, some locals who live there. How is, I mean, how are other news organizations?
We attempted to get in, somebody actually went there, but you can't. So what you're really relying on is just hearsay. You're not able to ascertain any of the facts. And in fact, this can create more rumors, you know. You're only delaying, what you're calling peace is really a delayed reaction.